In this lecture, we are going to be discussing that what is Linux Bash. So we can call this Bash as a born again shell, which actually is the replacement of shell. I mean, you can call this Bourne shell, right? So these are two different kind of interpreters, command language interpreters that Linux-based distros actually use, right? So before, all the systems were compatible with this SH, and now most of them use Bourne again shell, which is called Bash, as the built-in command language interpreter, right? So just like I mentioned that it's just a command line interpreter, but what differs in Bash is you can also use it as a language, programming language as well, right? I mean, it supports variables, it supports functions and flow control, just like all the programming languages out there. It can also read and execute commands from a file, and those commands which are also known as shell scripts, right? In the previous lectures, we use commands like this: sudo apt install something, right? So this is a command. We can also call it a shell script because we are adding this script inside this shell. This terminal is also known as shell, right? So your Bash command language interpreter or a programming language, it has the capabilities from reading the commands from a file and execute them in one code, right? So that's how that's how much powerful it is. So I mean, if you want to verify that if your system supports Bash or not, all you have to do is just go ahead and write which Bash. And if you see this, which actually is showing that in your bin directory of user folder, you have Bash, right? So it just shows you that yes, your Bash is installed in your system. So mostly if you're using Ubuntu and you downloaded this in a couple of months back or year back, it will probably support Bash because all the new operating systems are supporting this as a built-in function, right? So you can verify this by which Bash command. I'll just go ahead and clear this. So this is the use of Bash. This is the main overview that what a Bash actually is. Now let's just go ahead and see Bash in action, right? So suppose if you run a very basic shell script or shell command in your terminal, you say that date. It will give you the date, of today and time as well. And let's say if you want to, if you also want to put it calendar, right? So if here you can see we have this calendar. I mean, there's no specific purpose of these scripts, but all I'm trying to do is we will work with a couple of different scripts or commands individually, and then we will use Bash to automate this process, right? So you can use the same process to do the real life tasks that you will need in your life, right? Suppose there's another command which is called pwd. You don't have to worry about this. What this command actually is, we will see this or the use of this command in Bash directory module. So suppose we have these three commands. Let's just go ahead and add another command. I'll just write ls here. Right, so ls is simply just a command which lists all the content in a directory in which you are right now. So right now we have written 4 different commands. We have written date, we have written cal, which is for calendar, we have written pwd, and we have written ls, which is for the list, right? So what we will do is, I mean, right now we did it individually, but we can also automate it with the help of Bash scripting. And for that, all we have to do is just write nano, because nano is just an editor, text editor. And then let's say, first of all, let's just change the directory. Let's just go to desktop. And here we can go for nano, or instead you can use gedit. It's a little more user-friendly, gedit. And then we will write tasks .sh because we want to create a shell script, right? So I'll just open up this, and text editor will open up with the name of this. I mean, here you can see we have this task.sh. Now here inside this we can write date, and then we can write cal, then we can write pwd, and then we can write ls, right? So I mean, we can just simply save this, and here you can see my task.sh has been saved, right? What I'll do, I'll just go ahead and close this, and what I will do is I will just go ahead and try to execute that .sh file using this terminal using bash, right? So first of all, I have to change the mode of this file from script to executable, right? So for that we use chmod, which is actually change mode, right? And then we will use this argument, and then we will write the name of the file that we want to work on, right? So after this, all I have to do is just write this and then tasks, and I will enter this. And here you can see, first of all, date has been printed out, then calendar has been printed out. After that, the answer of pwd, the directory, has been printed out, and after that, all the files that are present in this current directory has been printed out. So what we did before individually, now with the help of this bash scripting, we automated all that. So that's how you can use your Linux bash in your Linux-based distros.